Do you believe Bigfoot really exists? Well, today he does. He lives in this forest on my cart. Hey, it's Beth. Welcome. This is the KCC 17. This calls for Confetti Super Sponsor Hop. So I have some fun products from this calls from Confetti to work with today. There's a playlist list in the description box below that you can check out to see the other design team members and the products that they got to play with. So I have Love Bigfoot Sentiments. So it's just got some related sentiments like true love does exist. Is it me you're looking for? You know what they say about big feet. And then it has a coordinating die set that goes with it. And then the Love Bigfoot die. It's actually Bigfoot. So I am going to be using these today for sure. I also have the Gloss Black Sparkle Gems. And then I pulled out from my stash the Elusive Prints pad from This Calls from Confetti. I thought it would go well with the whole Bigfoot theme as well. So I will be pulling some papers from that. And I believe I am going to use sketch number 2 from Kendra's Card Challenge 17 PDF. So that's what I have to work with. Let's get into the fun part of actually creating. So I decided to go with that scene paper for my card mat and the background. And here I'm just trying to figure out where I want to put Bigfoot. Since he's looking to the right, I kind of decide to have him facing like the clearing that's kind of in the center. So I'm going to cut it so that the clearing and the tree is kind of is more to the right side of the card. And then my intent is to cut the die cut Bigfoot out of the darker paper over there. So now I am looking for some strips that are going to go across the side and the top of the card. I really wanted to be able to use up some of the scraps that I had left from some previous projects. And so I'm kind of like flipping through and trying to figure out what I can use. I decide that at first, I didn't think I would want to use like one of the other scenes on like this scene paper because the colors were a little bit different, but I liked how it actually added a little more lightness on the left-hand side just because now it looks like there's another break in the trees and you can see some sky over there. And then Bigfoot's going to be covering a lot of the other, the bottom part of it anyway. So then I end up cutting into a full strip just to get something darker. I didn't like that tan strip. And then I liked how that strip I just placed down on going widthwise across the card kind of disappears. It just adds a little bit of dimension. So I end up bringing in another one of the scraps from today's scene just because the colors match, and if you're not seeing enough with it going sideways to really realize that it's facing the wrong way. So that's just my thought process on why I chose the strips that I did. And while I fiddle and try and figure out where to place these, I'm sure most of you have heard of Kendra's Card Challenges already, but if not, Kendra's Card Challenges are quarterly challenges that Cards by Kendra puts together, and she gives you cutting guides and card sketches to help you take 6 by 6 sheets of pattern paper and turn them into 15 cards. So you get the 6 cutting guides for the pattern paper and then 15 card sketches. The sketches have measurements on them, so if you don't want to make all 15 at one time, you can just use the card measurements or the sketch measurements like I'm doing on this one. And here real quick, I thought I was going to use some of those darker papers from This Calls from Confetti pad for my Bigfoot, but I didn't like, it was just too dark. And then, so I ended up going through several different cardstocks in my stash and finally landing on this kind of tannish gray one. And then I decided to use some distressed ink just to kind of grunge him up a little bit and make him look like he fit into a forest and not be all clean and bright. So that's what I'm doing here. where was I? Kendra's card challenges. You can do one card at a time if you choose, or you can make all 15 cards at one time. And she has so many chances for you to win prizes. The challenges have sponsors, like this calls for Confetti that we're working with today is a super sponsor. So not only do they supply some fun products for our team to work with, but they also offer prizes for people who submit photos for the challenge. So there are multiple ways to win. The biggest one is you can submit a photo of all 15 cards on Kendra's InLinkz party. So there's a QR code that's on the PDF, and if you scan that, it'll take you to the page with the link parties, and only the current link party will be open, so you can do one photo submission each month of all 15 cards. So January, this quarter would be, could have done one for January, you could still do one for February, and then you can do another one for March. Only the active month's party link will be available to click on, so that way you're not confused as to which one do I submit. And it's a pretty easy process. It just makes it easier on Kendra when she goes to choose a winner, and it's easier to see everybody's submission. You do get a chance to see all, like a grid of everybody who's submitted photos, so you just kind of get some additional inspiration as well going that route. Also, there is a chance to win a prize on this particular hop. So also in the description box, there's a link to a giveaway form that you can fill out and have a chance to win a prize from Kendra. And then I will also have Kendra's videos linked in the description box so that you can find out where to get her PDFs that have the cutting guides and the sketches. All you have to do is sign up as a free Patreon member. You don't have to pay. You can get the current month's PDF just by signing up as a free member. If you do choose to support her more and sign up for a paid membership, then you do get tons of other wonderful perks that she offers. So now that I have all of my strips down, I kind of want to have him going off the bottom of the card so that it looks like he's more in the foreground. I mean, scale-wise, he's also already like way big for, the scale of the background. So I just kind of wanted it to make it look like somebody was snapping a picture like up close to him. And so he's kind of off the bottom of the card a little bit. And so then once I trim off the bottom, then I'm going to have to come back in and ink up a little bit of his feet that I cut off so that it matches the rest of him. And then I also had a little bit of overlap from my strips that I put down. And I did do a little weaving on those strips. I saw one of the other design team members do that, and I thought that was a really cool idea. I haven't done weaving on my cards in a long time, so not that this was intense weaving, but it was still kind of fun. And by using the ATG and not pressing down, it allowed me to move those strips around a little bit more so that I could get my other perpendicular strips in, like over, under, however I wanted them to go. And then even finagle, like slide the strips around to make sure that everything was in the right place. And then once everything's in the right place, I press down, and now it's a little bit harder to move them. It helps that this paper has a little bit of gloss to it as well. So I'm using the sentiment that says, you know what they say about big feet. And I, used my hand to kind of get some of the stickiness off the stamp and prep it for its first time use. And then I'm working with a dry ink pad. So it took me a couple tries to get a clean stamp, not because of the stamp itself. It's just more because my pad is on the dry side. So I used the coordinating die to cut out my sentiment, and then I'm just kind of putting it in the bottom right. I'm torn at this point, like maybe I should have kind of inked the edges up on that as well, but I also like how it stands out. I want you to be able to see the sentiment and read the sentiment, and I feel like Bigfoot stands out all on his own, so I don't know. I'm kind of torn. I like it this way. I don't know if I would have liked it as well inked, but... And now I'm just fiddling with the black gems. I did want to add a little bit on the card. And I always struggle with placement for these, so there's always a lot of fiddling when it comes to these tiny embellishments. But I do want to give a big thank you to This Calls for Confetti for the products that they've allowed me to play with today. I will have them all linked in the description box below, so be sure to check out that description box. It's got the giveaway link, the cards for Kendra information, as well as the playlist, so always lots of good stuff down there. I decided to add the sentiment big heart on the inside along with the heart. I did kind of prime these already off camera so that I could stamp them, and I zoomed in and slowed it down a little because I realized I just stamped it, closed the card, and moved on. So this is my finished card. I had more fun with this than I expected just from it being such a simple card, but I hope you guys enjoyed the process as well. Please be sure to check out that playlist, and as always, I thank you so much for your time and hope you all have a very crafty day.